I'm sorry that my room in the back is a mess right now. I just came back from my grandmother's house. Went thrifting. Actually, matter of fact, hold on. I got a polka dot sweater or a polka dot shirt to pay Netspan homage. If you know, you know. In our society, we have been accustomed to get comfortable with the idea of ignorance. And what I mean by that is that we are so quick to believe what someone says is fact without actually doing the research to see if it's true. Kind of like the cliche, like, don't believe everything you see on the internet. But although it's such a cliche, a lot of us fall towards it anyways. And since we're on the topic of cliches, we can also talk about how ignorance is bliss. I feel like people don't really understand the power in that statement because it's so overused and turned into a saying more than something meaningful. Which the statement has a lot of power because it's true. Being ignorant to the atrocities around you is simpler to live with. It's easier to follow the crowd and just believe whatever they're saying to fit in. It's also better for your mental health too because you're not worrying about other lives or well being. Now, me saying all of this might make you think that ignorance is good for you, but in reality, that's where it tricks you. It's an instinct not to worry about something because it's not our problem or it stresses you out, but not worrying about the lives of others contributes to the problems of society. We have to learn how to educate ourselves so we can handle evil in our world accordingly and so it doesn't eventually land at your doorstep and affects you too. Like, I realize now that a lot of the reason why there's so many young boys who are conservatives or follow people like Trump or Charlie Kirk is because of those exact cliches I mentioned earlier. Believing everything on the internet and ignorance is bliss. Most algorithms push alt-right pipeline propaganda, which leads to misinformation like this, which influences a whole generation of continued ignorance like the generations before us who were, also racist and homophobic and, everything else. And it's easier to blame a problem on a minority than to actually address the problem at hand with real solutions, which is why people follow, Charlie Kirk and Trump and stuff like that because they blame the problems on a minority and it's easier to just point at somebody instead of trying to fix the problem that they created themselves. So, this continued comfortability through ignorance is what keeps the hatred going for minorities. And this ignorance eventually leads to extremes like, pure racism, sexism, homophobia, and more because of ignorance providing comfortability to others. Like I said earlier, it's easier to blame a minority for your problems. And just like how it's easy to blame, it's also easy to bully or make fun of them to feel better about yourself. The ignorance of others' feelings is what they want you to do. Like, I mean, the whole entire right wing or alt right, whatever, is always talking about facts over feelings, even though that they barely follow facts most of the time. But in reality, we both need to pair facts and feelings to build a better future because facts don't always tell the full story and empathy is just as important as facts. Like, I already know someone out there right now watching this video is probably like, oh, what is this sissy liberal talking about? But joking aside, we need to be more informed about the reality in front of us. As much as it's easy to just follow the herd, but you have to be your own person and shape beliefs with empathies and facts to build a better future.